What's up, y'all? Rasati out here in Singapore. You're listening to the Night Owl podcast. It's not really night at the moment, though. It's like mid-afternoon, but I had to get on here because this thing has been like running through my head all day, and I want to put it out on a track real quick because I forget sometimes. We get sidetracked with other things going on, and we forget the things that the little epiphanies we have throughout the day. This is why I keep telling y'all, look, enlightenment is within all of our reach. Just staying enlightened constantly, that's the difficulty. That's the difficult part. Anyway, so I don't know what I was doing. I think I was talking to a couple of people, and they were explaining how they don't feel like they could do that much with their lives. They're not really happy with the job they have, and they're dreading having to rewrite their resumes, right? And it just so happens that I happen to be working with a group that does this for a living. Like, they actually rewrite other people's resumes so that they can see or help them market themselves in the best light possible. And I've done it too. Like, I've been there as well. When I have to write my resume out or I have to go out, looking for jobs back in the day, I would go through to like the newspaper, the classified section, and I would read through what was going on, and I would feel like, okay, these are the things that I think I'm qualified to take on. Like, these are the jobs that I'd be qualified to do. And if I give the same list, if I give the same classified section to my brother, knowing what he knows about me, right, the jobs that he thinks I'd be qualified for are nowhere near the jobs that I think I'm qualified for. Why? Because I've reduced myself, my image of who I am, my idea of who I am and what I'm worth is so much smaller than the way the world would see me if they knew who I was, right? So this is what I want to talk to you about, because I feel like we all go through this. We all go through this. This is why we get stuck in our minds about, depressive thoughts, anxious thoughts. We get really nervous about, what we think we're capable of doing. Why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking these thoughts? Like, oh my gosh, I must be really, really bad. That's why I'm doing the things that I'm doing at the moment. But if you were to give it over to somebody else to explain to you what they see, it's completely different. It's so much bigger than what you thought you were. And a lot of times we talk about the fact that, I think it's like, the rest of the world is judging me. These people are talking about me behind my back. Yeah, okay, maybe that's a handful of people. But if you were to list out like every friend you have on Facebook, how many of them are actually talking about you? Is it even a percentage? Like, is it a full percent yet? No, it probably isn't. But those are the ones we're paying attention to. We tend to reduce ourselves. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing or something we've been like, that's something that's been drilled into our brains since young. You're not supposed to toot your own horn. You're not supposed to talk about yourself. That's arrogant. That's, that's very prissy of you. Like, all those words that have a bad connotation to them about when you talk about yourself or you speak about yourself. Now, if you look at little kids, they come home from school excited as hell to tell you what they accomplished that day. And it's not even big things or little things, but they're so proud, and you're proud to hear it. And you know what? How come that doesn't extend to us? How come we can't come home and say, you know what? I got through the day without killing anybody today, and I didn't cuss anybody out, and I did not throw anything on the floor. I did not break anything that was, glass based. I didn't flip out today. I did really well. Or, you know what? I created a media kit and it was well received by the person I gave it to. My client liked what I did, and I am so proud of myself today. We don't do that. We tend to minimize everything. It's why a lot of people cannot take compliments. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of them. But people be coming up to you and be like, oh my gosh, I like yours. Oh, I had this laying around. Oh my gosh, I like your makeup. Oh, it took me forever to do it. You don't have to explain why it's not that great. If somebody thinks you're great, accept it. Be like, wow, thank you. And that's it. You don't need to explain. You don't need to undercut. You don't need to undermine. You don't need to minimize any of that. Let it be as it is. Enjoy that compliment. But we don't do that. We minimize ourselves every step of the way. And I really want to encourage you guys this year, at least, or at least like every day in the morning, get up and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what, today, I'm going to be proud of everything I do. I'm going to be proud of the fact that I had breakfast and then I had lunch and then I had dinner. I'm going to be proud of the fact that I drank 1 cup of water and then maybe 2 and maybe 3 after that. I'm going to be proud of the fact that I woke up this morning and I put both feet on the ground and I got myself out that bedroom door to the bathroom, brushed my teeth. Hey, that's champion stuff. I want you to start seeing yourself as the world, as a collective, not the few idiots that, feel like hating on you. I'm talking about the world as a collective sees you, because it's so much bigger than you give yourself credit for. You are so much more than you claim yourself to be. You are not just a mother. You are not just a friend. You are not just an employee. You are all of those things at the same time. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are more than you give yourself credit for. Those cute little memes where there's like a little kitten looking in the mirror and the reflection that they see because, they're young and they're naive is the reflection of a big lion staring back at them. Because why? That's fierce, and that's why they want to be. And this is why they say, whatever you do it with all the confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman costume. Why? Because at that age and that mindset, nothing stops them. The possibility of failing doesn't even exist. And even if they do fail, they don't even see it as a failure. They're like, oh, I stumbled, let me keep going. So why is it we lose that ability as we grow older? Is it beaten out of us for real? Have we stuffed it down so deep inside of us that we can't find it anymore? Are we not allowed to do that? Like, who said we are not allowed to do that? I'll give you an example. There was once upon a time when I used to work shift work. And whenever I came home, I knew, and I think I've said this story before just recently, I knew that I loved the sound of my child on the other side of that door freaking out because she knows I'm home. So what do? I instigate. I hit the doorbell. And she'd be like, oh my gosh! And you can hear her jumping up and down and screaming and, like hooting and hollering and stuff. She's excited that I'm home. But also on that same side of the door, I hear her grandparents and my grandparents talking about, shh, calm down, stop freaking out. It's okay. It's just your mom. Don't jump up. Stop making so much noise. And they're just slowly calming her down and telling her not to get geeked up over something that makes her whole world excited. They're trying to reduce all of that. And it would break my heart every time I heard it because I don't want her to stop getting excited to see me come home. I don't want her to no longer get excited when she sees me. I want that. It's good for my ego. I can't help it. You know what I mean? But it's with that now she kind of looks at the door like, she's home. And it's not as exciting anymore. And I mean, yeah, that comes with time, but I would have loved to have enjoyed it for a little while. And I'm sure she would have loved to have enjoyed it because now she thinks that it's not something that is done. That's not how we treat the people we love. That's absolutely the way you treat people you love. Come on. If you are happy to see somebody, show them that you're happy to see them. If you're sad to see them go, show them that you're sad to see them go. We had this conversation with my daughter a couple weeks ago too about, people leave and it hurts. And so in order for me not to hurt anymore, maybe I should turn my feelings off. No, don't do that. You are reducing yourself every time you do that. Every time you refuse to feel your feelings, you are reducing yourself. You are minimizing the effect your feelings actually have on you. The meaning behind the feelings. Your feelings don't happen for no reason. They don't just like randomly, okay, let's be just joyful today and miserable the next. It's not like that. There are catalysts for every one of those feelings. And they have meaning in your life. And why would you reduce any of those feelings? Are you telling me that if you were to see your idol walk by on the street next to you, you wouldn't geek out a little bit? Or would you try really hard to be really cool and pretend like it's not that big a deal? How many times have you seen that, that coming of age teenage movie or whatever where the geeky kid meets up with the cool kid at school and suddenly they know each other's names and they're being friendly and the geeky kid is super stoked because in what world would the other person ever acknowledge them? And here they are like so happy. They're even more awkward than they were before. And you know what? It means something. It means you appreciate the moment. It means you understand the contrast of not having versus having. When my daughter freaks out and screams and shouts and is jumping up and down for joy when she sees me come home, it's because she missed me. She understands what it's like not to have me around, and to suddenly have me, whether she expected me to be there or not, doesn't matter. It means the world to me. It conveys how much it meant to her, to me. Same thing with how you see yourself. They say you teach the world how to treat you. But if you don't see your worth, how will you treat yourself? Not that great. You'll be the last one on your list. But if you were top priority, you see how people walk when they feel good about the things that they're wearing. They feel good about their body. They feel good about their hair. And a lot of the people that do that aren't perfect figures either. But they're happy. And they feel good. And they appreciate the fact that they feel good. Why? Because at some point they didn't feel good. And now that they do, they understand the worth of that and they show it. It's in the way they walk. It's in the way they talk. It's in the way they carry their face it's not resting bitch face no more. Stop minimizing yourselves. Do your best to see yourself the way the rest of the world sees you. When people pay compliments, pay attention to that, because it's telling you what you don't see in yourself. This is why people are meant to mirror back to you what you need to be seeing, what you need to be paying attention to. That's what a compliment is. They notice something and they appreciated it because they maybe feel a lack in their own life. And when you acknowledge that they saw what they saw and you thank them for it, it not only makes you feel good, it makes them feel good too. Because then you're not stuck up, and then you're not like brushing it off like it's no big deal. To them, it's a big deal. They wouldn't have taken the time out to open their mouth and express what they appreciate about you. They don't have to do that. They can mind their own business. Especially in this day and age, everybody got their headphones on. They're paying attention to something else. So when someone speaks to you and someone says, hey, you know what? I like that outfit. You know what? Your hair looks great. Your curls, they're on point. Your eyeliner, that wing, oh my God, girl. Like whatever they got to say. Somebody want to compliment you on your belt buckle, whatever. Your braces. I've had people compliment people on their braces because they like the colors on the braces. How sweet is that? Stop minimizing yourselves. Learn to see yourself as other people see you, because the vast majority collectively see you as something bigger than you give yourself credit for. I hated my voice, y'all, when I started this podcast. I really did. And sometimes I listen to it, I'm like, wow, I sound really like nasal and I sound really like pitchy. And I don't know if I could ever sing. Like right now I'm in a singing challenge, and I don't like any of the videos I've done so far, and I haven't submitted one today. I need to. But you know what? I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to go ahead and submit something, because I need to change the way I hear my voice. I need someone else to tell me, hey, it's not as bad as you think. It's actually quite pleasing to the ear. Maybe not to my ear, because as I'm speaking, the way I hear it in my head right now is not the way it sounds when it comes back on a replay. To me. I need the perspective. I need to understand that I am not living up to my potential because I've limited myself. And I won't know that I've limited myself unless I put myself out there for people to say something, to comment, to criticize, to ask questions, to judge. And it's okay, because whether they judge me harshly or not, it's their perspective. And maybe I had no idea that there was such a perspective. I need to take a chance. So please, if someone takes the time to come compliment you, accept it. It will do you and the other person a world of good. And please, understand that the way you see yourself is only limited by your perspective. You only have one perspective. So if you were to talk to 10 people and get their input on who you are and what they think you are, you have 10 more perspectives to add to yours. So you can be a little more objective about what you see. And maybe a little more aware of the things you don't. We take for granted the things that come naturally to us. We don't know what the rest of the world needs until we start telling people what we believe and how we see the world and how we move about in it, the beliefs that run our lives. And it comes naturally to us, so we assume everybody got that, right? Everybody has emotional intelligence. Everybody has, EQ or whatever you want to call it. Not everybody does. What comes easily to me may be something you're struggling with. This is why I coach. This is why I put my work out there. It's not Nobel Peace Prize level coaching, but it is heartfelt, and it is based on experience and theory together. It's relatable, it's functional, it's sustainable. I'm not going to try and make you do changes that'll give you results in the first 2 days and then in a week or so you're back to square one. No, that's not the way I operate. Whatever I teach you, I want it to fit you really well, which means I can't give you the answers. I can give you new information. I can tell you where to look, but you're going to have to try that stuff. You will see how it fits. Decide for yourself if it's worth it or not, if it works for you or not. And if it doesn't, we'll find another way. But you can't do that unless you give yourself a chance, unless you believe that you deserve these things in life. Stop reducing yourself. Allow for people to come to you and let you know what they see. Take it with a grain of salt, obviously, because some people are haters. You can't help that, but at least allow the possibility of someone being able to come up to you and tell you, hey, I think you're amazing. I don't know how you did what you did. I wish I had that kind of strength. You never know. You never know who you're inspiring. So keep your chin up. Open your eyes and really see yourself. And love all of it, every part of this journey. I love you guys. I'll catch you again soon. Bye.